Now the bearer parties prepare to remove the remains from the hearses. The pallbearers in the meantime have marched off, and we'll have the bearer parties proper. And now already some of the relatives crowding in here to Glasnevin, not wanting to miss any moment of this extraordinary day.
Tá mé tarach an Bartas derig an críoch an tomláú. Seo uachtarán na Héireann. Maire Nicola Isa, the Tactisteach.
There, the President, of course, greeted by Dr. Peter Harbison, who is the chair of the Dublin Cemeteries Board, and members of the board. I think all the members of the board indeed are here. Glasnevin has seen many remarkable funerals and moments of celebration and moments of mourning. Never, I think, one quite like this. Now the bearer parties march forward on the command of Company Sergeant Daniel Ward to carry the remains just the few steps to the trestles.
Té an úmbróirí na gcónaí bhar Marshall chun Shellah Glacha, agus chun na cónaí a thuairt faoi gradam, agus iad a chur na tríséil ag béal na huaí.
The first bearer party, led by Sergeant Patrick O'Connor, based at the 6th Infantry Battalion Western Brigade at Custom Barracks, bearing the remains of Kevin Barry. And alongside the second group, bearer party led by Sergeant Declan Dowling, also from the 6th Infantry Battalion, bearing the remains of Patrick Moore. And third, Thomas Whelan, coffin carried by bearers drawn from troops of the 6th Infantry Battalion, led by Sergeant Sean Malloy. And they'll march to a new plot just in front of the very famous monument to Daniel O'Connell, and how very appropriately these men will be laid beside Roger Casement.
Kevin Barry, an céad duine a cracach sa trasa, chun tosig, agus leag for le an nóir na tríséil, agus dead son ag an Tahar Ferdal MacDonagh, an príomh séplínach prísún in Éireann, chun fáil tú na haglaise a cuir rompa. Patrick Morn, Iverdon son. Thomas Whelan, Iver Tree. Ócaid Holúnta, Snait, Aglasta, agus Adim. Tost titithe inis, an bubble. Tost titithe carná, muintir na gar, atá bailithe, ansa, rompa. Daoine a dulling, the father-in-law, go príomhaideach, go ciúin, gan Shellah Vehecha, or her son, dar gnáv is dar bhfuil hénig.
And indeed it has been a long journey and something of a struggle for the families, many of whom have campaigned, some for decades, certainly numbers for years, to have their beloved ones, to have their forebears honoured in an appropriate way, put in a place where they could rest in peace and where their contribution to the development of this state would be honoured and acknowledged.
On party Lávigan sin, Fá Canis on Lieutenant Barry Crusher on Dara Regiment Artillery Macra, Blacklia. Agus iad siúd a chaithig an trí cipiléir, taréis óráid an tíisig ball.
Firing party at a remove from the actual grave sites because of modern considerations of safety and health. They would normally, of course, be beside the graveside. Perhaps it's one of those historic ironies that indeed they are beside the grave of John Dillon, the last leader of the Irish Parliamentary Party. And as the 9 who are to lie in Glasnevin are placed on the trestles, the 10th, the remains of Patrick Maher, are brought over to the hearse. From thence they'll be brought to his home place in Gorbley, County Limerick. And even, it seems, at a moment as solemn and as sacred as this, there are those outside the gates who can't restrain themselves, and they must find an occasion for some sort of protest.
Patrick Marlinish, an fear hastig go give a cutter, a gunta limoni, a mask of winter Heinig. Da dogin tunish could be on har specialta. Agus as son tog for a could be on vod dochish. Fog for brat na public a honor shoe. Gydí make a lá féinnig a siúd an tachtan se chuir. Ashfwint nummer atá. Ashfwint nummer atá agus nochta na Gónraí. Sergeant na Complachta Danny Wall. Atá Ganas Ersha. Agus tá idim agus cúram I nascanáhí nummer atá. Ballion Winter na Gort Temple.
It's one of these great traditions of armed forces, this undraping of the national colours that lie over the remains of dead comrades. And I think the slight pause for the moment to allow relatives and members of the cortege to draw close at the moment that for a while they were being held back, but they're now drawing close to the graveside for the final moments of this ceremony. Very appropriately, I see there in the background Capuchin Prior. Capuchin Priors in Church Street, of course, who played such a noble part in the Easter Rising of 1916, had a very, very close association with so many of those involved in the War of Independence. Now the standards are raised, and they will be very carefully folded and presented, one by one, to individual members